us in the show, drinking coffee, wishing you all well, because life is swell. Super Fast Tortoise. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow.
From head to toe. That's right, everybody. Welcome to Super Fast Tortoise Show, morning coffee show.
All right.
Of course, we get Hillbilly in a squirrely voice. Well, behind the scenes, he got kicked in the nards really hard.
Yeah, dude.
Now, behind the scenes, we were fan theorizing about if we got the original 5 planeswalkers in Lorwyn, the Eclipsed, and what if they got color shifted?
That'd be awesome.
I'm on board.
I'd be on board too. Especially if they did like a because that'd be a time when they could like test out a new frame too. Like we got a new frame for these, you know. Like what if they made like imagine a world, and this probably looks better than my head than what it's going to sound like. But in Lorwyn, they make a fairy tale style frame like they did in what's the set with Oko in it?
Eldraine.
Like they did a frame like that, but the mana costs were like Future Sight, where they were on the left and curved on the side of the card, and that would get my lips puckering for a good Magic card.
Well, they do have that. They do have that format pretty well locked in, because most of the, or not most, I know a lot of the what's the booster box, it's like Festival in a Box or whatever,
right?
A bunch of those have that mana cost on the side going around the picture, because I have a few of them. I have there's a High Lord Artificer and a couple other ones that have the mana over there that's from the mystery booster boxes,
right? The Future Sight frames. But I'm like, imagine that
the new stuff
in the fairy tale adventure style of Eldraine.
Yeah, I think that'd be very cool.
That'd be, dude. This is why Wizards should hire us.
Well, one thing I want to point out is that, you know, they've mentioned hybrid cards coming into Commander. Or they're wanting to put those cards in Commander. And since they brought that up, most of the time when they bring something up, they got something in the works in the background. So that's also making me think, since they brought the hybrid mana up, and we're getting planeswalkers in the Lorwyn. I hope I'm wrong, but maybe that could be hybrid.
Why would you be wrong? Hybrid planeswalkers would be solid. I mean, what do you got? Hybrid planeswalkers that exist from the Phyrexian Brothers War, and they work pretty good. But if we got hybrid planeswalkers that are red and white or black or blue and whatever, and they can fit in those decks, that'd be solid. You know, even if they changed the rulings for Commander, that would just give more flexibility to these commanders.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, like a red-black planeswalker. Going either in a mono black deck or a mono red deck.
Yep.
Right. But
or you can just play it in Rakdos. I know that the purists are super against the hybrid mana change, but I personally like the hybrid mana change. And I don't say that for any, like, the odds that I put any card in a deck that isn't already in a deck is incredibly slim. Right. I like giving options, right? More more options for people to test out new things. This would probably be this would be a huge shakeup to the Commander format. And I think, I don't think it would, I mean, it's such a casual format, right? Commander is at its core a casual format. So why not just expand it, let people play with these different things that they've never had access to before and see what happens with it. I mean, if it breaks the game somehow, change it back.
That's
It's
right.
not like you could just go and fix it back.
Mhm. Well, you say it's a casual format, and it's supposed to be a casual format, but some of the people we've been playing around with lately have been treating Commander like a competitive format.
Yeah, very competitive.
Well, yeah, but that's on the player, not on the format, right? Like no matter what game it is, right? There are people who take it far more serious than they should.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, isn't Keno in Vegas just bingo? Like I feel like Keno is just bingo, like competitive bingo.
I've never heard of Keno before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just bingo.
That's pretty cool. I mean the idea. I mean, this is Vegas. If they can make anything a gambling game, they're gonna do it.
Exactly. So to me, Commander is still casual. Are there people who do not play it that way? Absolutely. But I don't blame the format for that. I blame the people trying to break the format.
Sorry, my brain was like, blame Canada. Blame Canada has nothing to do with it.
I mean, it does seem like that sometimes, that when you try to play just a casual game for fun, and it just seems like sometimes there's no fun there.
Well, like I get what you're saying, because you're playing your game and people keep targeting and playing to the deadliest assault onto winning or controlling the board.
And that's what it's built. I mean, that's what it's like nowadays, it seems like.
Well, kind of a different conversation for a different day, but we did bring up the topic of, the bracket system used to be a conversational piece. Now it feels like something people are trying to break.
Right.
I mean,
he's right. I'm shaking my head not because I disagree. I'm shaking my head because I agree vehemently, and it's annoying.
It is. Like, how powerful can we make this deck? Hey, Lynn, G5N. Hello. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow. But yeah, no, I get you. It's fun. But now, thinking of fun times, it is time to get to this part of the day where we get to
Card of the Day.
Whoa, card of the day was brought to us by Ray in Discord. If you're a part of Discord, you can shout out cards of the day. And he shouted out Bolas' Citadel, which I don't know anybody who's gotten this card recently, but it must be lucky if they did. Bolas Citadel costs 3 generic, 3 black pips, legendary artifacts. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play land and cast spell cards from the top of your library. If you cast spells this way, pay life equal to the mana value that rather paid its mana cost. And you can tap to sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life.
I meant to submit this card also to you. But Ray beat me to it.
That's pretty cool. Look, he even selected the version he sent you, which is pretty solid. I mean, that's a promo. A promo.
Yeah.
It is,
It is, and it's to your LGS. Love your LGS promo.
Well, yeah.
The card is just super good in any deck that it doesn't go in any black deck, obviously, but if you're running a black deck that wants to have some resiliency and you have consistent access to 3 black pips of mana, this card's fantastic. If it doesn't get removed immediately, you probably just win the game. It's super good. I've never actually tapped it and sacrificed a bunch of permanents to deal damage. I've just used it to throw vampires onto the board, give them haste, and swing for a win, which is what I'm hoping that Hillbilly gets to do with it. Because I'm pretty sure that's what he's putting it in his vampires deck. So Hillbilly, I hope it treats you well.
Yeah.
Darn tootin', I put it in there.
Darn tootin'. Watch your language, Hillbilly. This is a family show.
So I got this card in two different complete styles of decks, but it's really fun using this card with Aetherflux Reservoir.
Nice.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Sounds evil. Evil. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's awesome. Yes. All right.
They always say wolves are will bite you. Black-legged lone wolf is part wolf. He will bite you, especially by him being the lone wolf of them all.
You know, my brain was trying to put together a cool rhyme, but it could not. All right. But anyways, with that, my friends, we're going to get to the picture of the day. Picture of the day is reading is cool. Open new doors of opportunity. I don't know why I got so... Hold on a second.
I'm leaning in heavily to see if this is Raph or Mike reading the book, because it kind of looks like Red, but it also looks like Mike.
It's a Raph or Mike. It's a turtle. Sorry, I had to get a cat off my display, and I need to fix my display because my cat decided it didn't want to get on my display.
Spider cat, go where no cat goes.
It's not supposed to be up there. But anyways, yeah, reading like I get the turtles reading a book, and it's like all scholastic. But recently, I got into reading the Jurassic Park book again, and you know, it's fun. Some of the ideas and thoughts you get, and when you want to improve yourself mentally, reading is a good way to rejuvenate the brain. Sometimes, you know, I have to read books in segments, small bits at a time. So, but sometimes you get an idea or something pops up. You know?
Stimulate those neurons.
That's right. Stimulate the neurons. Hold on a second. I need to fix my display real quick.
I should read more. I don't. If reading magic cards counts, then I read a lot. If not, then I don't.
Exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say. I mean, you got to play Magic. You got to read.
That's right.
Reading the card knows what the card does.
But yeah, well, you know, sometimes you can read small things. Like, you know, they tell you to read. So read an article. Open a magazine, you know?
Yep. Sometimes I have trouble reading the dang on Magic cards because they make them confusing sometimes.
Right. You know, they say reading the card explains the card, but sometimes the card is confusing for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. That's the picture of the day, my friends. But now let's get to the question of the day. The question of the day is submitted by yours truly, wearing the same outfit too. But I know Hillbilly's answer right away.
She was going to be an actress. She was going to be a star. She was going to shake her ass on the hood of White Snake's car. The yellow SUV is now the enemy. What song is in your head today, everybody? That's the question of the day. What song gets you going to play Magic, talk Magic, do everything Magic? What song's pumping you up today? Let's go.
Ooh.
Oh no.
I know Hillbilly is against music and all things. He's all against music. He's like, every time that he sees a radio, he has to destroy it.
Yep. That's why I got a trusty cane near me.
That's right. I'm kidding. No, Hillbilly just doesn't listen to a lot of music, but I know there's some of us who do listen to music and we get into music. Yeah. Some of us sing karaoke that we learn.
Some of us sing karaoke. That is true.
So what song is getting in your head? What song gets you going for a game? Like think of abstract, or think like at a time when a song motivated you a lot.
Oh, I don't have to think abstract. I know what mine are.
What's the song that gets you motivated?
So when I go to a tournament, be it for Magic, when I do occasionally play Modern, or when I go to play a 40K event, there's 2 songs I listen to get pumped up. One is Battle Cry, which is Kenny Omega's AEW theme, because I love Kenny Omega. And the other one is Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix.
Ooh, Voodoo Child.
Ever since the mid to late 90s, watching Hulk Hogan come out strumming the NWO belt to Voodoo Child, it has always got me pumped up. So those are the 2 songs that if I'm wanting to get into a competitive mindset to get my brain right, I will listen to Battle Cry, and then I'll listen to Voodoo Child.
Nice. Lone Wolf, there's a song you like to listen to get you going for playing Magic?
I got 2. It depends on if I'm playing land destruction or not. So if I'm playing land destruction, and then this is a weird song choice, I might get some laughter. I do Set Fire to the Rain by Adele.
No, nice.
It just fits perfectly with the land destruction. But if I'm not playing land destruction and I'm just doing like removal and stuff, I listen to another one. I don't know what the name of the song is called, but it says Another One Bites the Dust.
Oh, it's by Queen.
Oh, it's by Queen, yeah.
Yep, that's one of my go-tos.
Another one bites the dust. Oh, another one bites the dust. Hey, hey. Yeah, that's a good song.
Cool.
And a good song. I know in the video, that was the song I actually had stuck in my head. I was literally looking up a Linkin Park song, and I was going to try to sing a Linkin Park song to get me going, but I didn't get those lyrics out of my head, so I just went with the flow. Bowling for Soup, I believe, sings that song. I could be wrong.
It is.
All right. But like a song that usually gets me going, that's classic. Well, it's classic in today's standard. But I was a major franchise follower back in the day, and I still follow the franchise today, to the extent I can. But it's the Mortal Kombat theme song that came out in the 90s. That's
the original movie
from the original time frame, the 90s. Like,
yeah. Oh, I think
the guy walks out in the middle of the street and he goes, Mortal Kombat, and you get dun, 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 you know? And during the song you get Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
Right.
It's from the original movie. That song is an absolute banger.
I made a Tom Bombadil deck which has creatures that turn into sagas and the regular saga, so what that is always pulls the one front facing saga. Oh, okay. The coming Galactus, so Tom is Galactus's herald. Nice.
He made it. I remember him talking about this in chat last week, and he brewed it up. I love it.
Yeah, they say that Galactus card is going to be one of the strongest cards in Standard when it comes out.
I mean, I think it's going to be an Eldrazi, right? I mean, it's basically just going to be an Eldrazi with Galactus's name attached to it. Because he is. I mean, he's basically an Eldrazi.
Yeah. Well, it's a saga though.
Is he a saga creature like the Final Fantasy ones, or is he?
No, he turns in. You get a token.
Okay.
Indestructible token. I believe he's indestructible, but he's very powerful. And he destroys lands.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it makes sense.
Galactus turns into a 16/16 black elder alien creature token with flying trample, and whenever he attacks, destroy target land.
Oh, it just destroys one. Okay, so he's not quite as good as an Eldrazi. He doesn't have Annihilator 4.
Wait, is that Lone Wolf's signature on this card?
I wouldn't doubt it.
It's my endorsement to any and all future land destruction cards.
That's right. Oh, that's funny. Oh, my friends. Oh, another song that no, I got 2 more songs on the list here that get me going. Kids Ain't Alright by Offspring. Get me going. I like that.
Great song. Worst concert I've ever been to, but I love the band. Just their concert was terrible.
Sometimes that's how it goes.
It does.
But a guilty pleasure song that used to get me going all the time. And I say guilty pleasure because it's one of those songs that people look at me like, why? You're not even a girl. And I'm like, I don't know. But the song that would give me like change my attitude a lot was Barbie Girl by Aqua.
That song's classic.
Right?
Classic.
Like, and I don't know what, like, is this one of those guilty pleasure songs that just, changed my attitude when I heard it? Like, I didn't have any mixed feelings about my identity or anything. It just made me happy.
It's such a happy song. I mean, it's hard not to hear that song and smile. Thinking about it makes me smile. And I've not probably heard it in 10 years.
Right? It's just interesting. It's just an interesting fact. And Hillbilly's favorite song has got to be Lean on Me by Club of the Nouveau.
Lean on Me?
That's a good song, too.
Yes, it is. I used to listen. I did listen to that song before.
Mm-hmm. I'm just giving you a song. That's not
that's
horrible.
a good song.
It's from the 80s.
I also like Bon Jovi. Want It. That's a good song.
Want It. Dead or Alive.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Down in,
That's a karaoke classic.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Right. Karaoke classics, ever heard of them. Wanted by Bon Jovi and Hotel California by the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And Don't Stop Believing by Journey.
Don't stop playing magic. Just keep on playing those lands. I'm kidding.
For lone wolf to destroy.
Well, you gotta feed the monster, right?
You can't destroy them if they're not there.
Right. I kid, my friends. It is time to get to the topic of the day. The topic today is where we're going to read out of an article. I mean, blast. We had a great time talking for 21 minutes, but we got 40 minutes to film. This is kind of a big article. Share screen.
Although if it's like most Morrow articles, only about 20% of it's actually worth reading, and the rest of it you can just skip.
Yeah, let's see. Let's go.
And I like Morrow. I like that he's out and that he is willing to write these things. The problem is that it's only true in the moment that he wrote it. It could literally, anything he says in an article could literally be changed, even though, like today, he wrote it yesterday, it could be totally different today.
Probably. But, I've been following Mark Rosewater for a while. Well, I don't follow him on Tumblr. I never had Tumblr. At least I don't think I've ever had Tumblr. But I try to follow him when he talks, because usually when he talks, he says something that's important to catch on to. Even though he likes to play the game where he makes you want to guess the future.
Mm-hmm.
He does do that.
All right. I'm going to start off with what Mark Rosewater is here. It says, when I return from winter break, I will start a Lorwyn Eclipsed previews. So before the end of the year, I thought I would spend the last 2 weeks of this year going back and telling the story of how the Lorwyn block came to be. I'm thinking the original Lorwyn block here.
Mm-hmm.
As a Magic historian, I love looking back and being able to tell stories of the past with modern context. Doom, doom, doom. That's what this 2-part series is all about. They haven't come out with part 2 that I know yet, but it's part 1. I'm going to read this first part, and we'll see if there's another part worth reading, and someone else can pick that up to share the screen. In from the Cold Snap. This story actually begins 2 years before we even started working on Lorwyn. At the time, here's how the Magic schedule worked. Note that I'm using a Northern Hemisphere for all my seasons. In the fall, we had a large set that would begin the newest block in the winter. We released a second set in the block, which was always a small set. Then in the spring, we would release a third set in the block, which was always a small set. Every other summer, we'd release a core set, which was always a large set of reprints. And may I add,
The good old days.
I miss the old core sets. That's right.
I miss this whole schedule.
Right? Yeah, the things we got familiar with.
Yep.
And it was easy to keep track of. You let you plan your money around it too.
Yeah. And that was the problem. That was the problem. We could plan our money instead of just throwing it at them every month.
Right.
Or secret layer alert. This means Magic's release schedule would jump back and forth between 3 main sets and 4 main sets. We did have the other products like dual decks from the vault. From the vault was so good. But actually, supplementary sets were still a rarity at this time. For business, we want your years to be roughly even from a financial standpoint, which was a good standpoint. What happened? So the vacillation between 3 and 4 sets was a constant thorn in the side of Magic's brand team, which ran the business side of things.
This may be the most honest I've ever heard Mark Rosewater, because what he just said in 2 paragraphs is, we did not make enough money and we want to make more money. So the business side said, hey, how do we make more money? And then he's going to explain to us how they changed to the hellscape that we have today of basically bi-weekly releases that just props up Hasbro's entire bottom line.
Right. That's very true. It talks about wanting more money.
I mean, that's exactly what he said.
Bill Rose.
This isn't even subtext; it's just text.
Right. Bill Rose, the vice president of R&D at the time, would constantly chat with the brand team about what sets we should be making. We were working on the products that would release in 2006, so my guess is this conversation was around 2004. And here's some cards from Ravnica, Guild Pact, and Dissension. Saddle shape. Nice. So I originally became head designer in 2005-2006 block was Ravnica City of Guilds. We planned for 2006 to have sets Guild Pact Ascension Time Spiral. Since 2005 had a core set, there wasn't another one planned until 2007. 6 months earlier, Bill had talked to the brand team about whether we wanted a 4 set in 2006, and they decided they didn't. Then, in August 2004, Bill told me brand has changed their mind. They'd like a 4th set. Okay. We were already knee-deep in Time Spiral block, which is a great block. Bill had asked 6 months earlier because that's when we would have started a 4 set. So we scrambled and designed one. We talked about making a 4 set in the Ravnica City of Guilds block that would have stuff for all 10 guilds. But we decided it didn't really fit the row with how we've created a block. Instead, we chose to make a small standalone set. This was, of course, Cold Snap, which was a bad set.
Gross.
But bad set. Inspired by lost episodes of old television shows, we created a fictional story about a lost 3rd set in the Ice Age block. I remember that story. Found a piece of paper in the garage. Ice Age came out in the summer of '94 and was designed as a large standalone set to create more continuity between sets. R&D decided to have the next set, designed by the same team, Scaff Elias, Jim Lynn, Dave Petty, and Chris Page, known as the East Coast Playtesters, flavored as an expansion to Ice Age, although the design team was not had not designed it as such. The next large set, Mirage, would begin the blocks as we know them.
Mirage was a solid set.
Mirage, yeah, some of those older sets were solid. There were more thought into them. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Dark really sucked from what I heard. I wasn't playing, but there was good cards from it. That meant Ice Age was short of a block, but oddly only had a large set and a small set. That felt like the perfect place for a missing, quote-unquote, Magic set. We created a tongue-in-cheek story about how we found the set in an old file cabinet and cleaned it up. Yep, I remember that story. The set had a very condensed design time of 1 month, but a normal development time. Cold Snap ended up being a bit lackluster as a set. Yeah.
No. Who no one believes that, right?
All right. No one believes that. It stood out like a sore thumb. It didn't really feel like it belonged. The important part for this story is that I went up to Bill after the design of Cold Snap was finished and said, the next time we need a 4 set in a year, talk to me. I'll build it into the block. About a year later, when we were in early talks about Lowryn block, Bill came up to me and said, okay, this block needs 4 sets. I'm curious. What will you come up with? All right. Now, does anybody want to pick this up? And do you want me to share a link with you in the private chat?
I mean, I don't mind to read it, and I can just read what you have here shared on screen. So that way
All right. Let's get
2x4. I realized that just having a large set and 3 small sets in the same world wouldn't work. So I started thinking outside the box. I brainstormed a lot of ideas, but the one I was enamored with was the idea of doing 2 small mini blocks, each made up of 1 large set and 1 small set. For the longer version of this story, you can read my 2+1 article. I talked with Brady. Oh, I'm going to slaughter this dude's name. Domermuth, who was the lead of the creative team, and we came up with the idea of a world that went through a radical change. We liked playing with the concept of duality, so we started with the lowest hanging fruit, light and dark. One of the first set was a world all sunny and kind, but it turned into a world that was all dark and mean in the following set. We put the shadow world second because at the time, Magic's core sensibility was a bit darker, and we knew a transition from light to dark would be an easier sell internally. At the time, every block had a core mechanical hook, and we scheduled Lorwyn to be a Tibalt block. The Onslaught block was our first attempt at a Tibalt block, and it went well. A great set. So we decided it was time to revisit it. Because I wanted the 2 mini blocks to have their own identities, I wanted them to each have a different mechanical theme while still working well with the other mini block. Typo played well into this. The first mini block would mechanically care about creature types. The second mini block would have the same creature types, but it wouldn't have cards that mechanically cared about them. That way you could build a Typo deck when Lorwyn came out and have the cards to add when Shadowmoor came out. We just needed another theme that played into basic Magic components.
We got Lurking Informant here, which is Hybrid Mana. Hybrid Mana first came in the Ravnica block. Yeah. Good card, too.
We eventually found the solution. During the early Ravnica City of Guilds design, I came up with Hybrid Mana to explore a different execution of multicolor. A traditional multicolor card would have the combination of 2 colors, red and green, but Hybrid played into the overlapping space between the 2 colors, red or green. I liked how Hybrid played, so I put it in the second mini block. When I handed off Ravnica City of Guilds file to development, they took the Hybrid cards out of the file. The set had a lot going on, and they were trying to streamline it. Because I was so excited for Hybrid Mana, I looked for a way to introduce it in the next set, Time Spiral. The flavor revolved around time being so messed up that it affected the mana. The Ravnica City of Guilds development team eventually decided they would like to put Hybrid Mana back in the file, so I took it out of Time Spiral. When Ravnica City of Guilds released, Hybrid Mana was the highest rated mechanic element in the set. We often group mechanics by splash and function. Splash means the mechanic will draw people's attention to it. When people talk about a set, splashy mechanics are usually what creates the most buzz and discussion. Function means the mechanic helps the set play well. Functional mechanics often don't draw a lot of attention to themselves, but are crucial to make the set work. Some mechanics are capable of being splashy and functional. The trick is to make their first appearance splashy and their late appearances functional. Hybrid Mana is a great example of this. The first time you see a hybrid card, it grabs your attention. It has new mana symbols you've never seen before in a new frame. It showcases a concept, multicolor, in a new way. It uses or instead of and logic. Ravnica City of Guilds used Hybrid Mana as a splash mechanic. It doesn't appear in a large volume, just a vertical cycle in each guild, and is mostly an opportunity for something new.
And here's a card that was in a cycle. Like the blue-white one and the white-green one were the best ones, but this was really good in aggro. I played this card a lot. Fist of the Demigod.
Cool. I was very fascinated by what we could do with Hybrid Mana as a functional mechanic. Thinking about this got us to our Shadowmoor theme. Lorwyn involved caring about something organic to Magic cards, creature types. Shadowmoor could do something for Magic's colors. One of the interesting things about Hybrid Mana is that although it only requires you to have one color to play it, the card is both color in all zones. That means you can play mono red with just mountains, yet still care about having a black card. This is all a long-winded way of saying we're excited of the idea of colors matters being a core mechanical theme of Shadowmoor. Now, all of this worked out before we started designing Lorwyn, by the way. We knew the larger structure of the block would include two mini blocks consisting of a large set and a small set. We knew we were playing with the idea of duality with light and dark, and we knew that the two settings were going to be different incarnations of the same plane. But that was enough to start Lorwyn's design.
All right.
Boy, that was a lot of words.
Yeah, it was a lot of words. But basically, it was a long-winded version of Mark Rosewater saying we tried hybrid mana. It became popular, so we did it again.
Yeah, and it's interesting to think about how this design works, right? Like, he's the head designer, so he has all these concepts, and then he hands it off to the team, and they're like, "Oh no, we don't want to do that." And then he's like, "Okay, well, I'll work it into another set." And then at the last moment, they're like, "Oh wait, we've changed our minds."
That's right.
So they put it back into that set. He has to take it back out of Time Spiral. And while this all, I mean, I don't think there was anything super broken from those times.
Right.
This kind of design is how we end up with things like Nadu, where at the very end of a development cycle, they decide to throw something in. It doesn't get the playtest time that it deserves. And we end up with Nadu running amok in every format.
Yep. You know, the first time they realized they made a mistake like that is when they made Skull Clamp.
Yeah, this design team certainly, because if Rosewater said Rosewater said he took over in 2004, so he probably wasn't head designing for Mirrodin, which would have probably been in that design time of like, so that was the old guy. That was Mr. Rose, who was in charge in like 2002 when Mirrodin would have been dealing with Skull Clamp and
well, would you like for me to take over on this reading?
If you want.
By all means, my friend, have at it.
Lorwyn, Hearts and Minds. Many years earlier, Bill Rose approached me with an assignment. The Magic Brand team felt like we didn't have enough presence online. They asked us to start creating content for our website. They assigned the task to Bill, and he assigned it to me, as I was the writer with the communications background from R&D. Thus, I was the one that created the original daily MTG website. As part of getting that off the ground, I needed to find an editor-in-chief for the site. That person was Aaron Forsyth. The fifth dawn of the third set in the Mirrodin block, which led the design for added Aaron to the design team for two reasons. One, I thought it would make for a good article. And two, I thought Aaron would enjoy it. What I didn't know was how good he would be at it. Aaron was the superstar of the design team, designing most of the mechanics of the set. He was so good. In fact, we ended up hiring him for R&D. He's my boss now. So obviously that went well. Wow. I'll bring all this up because Lorwyn was Aaron's first time designing a large set. He had been on numerous teams and led the design and dissension. Yeah. But I felt he was ready for the biggest challenge we have in R&D, designing a large set on a new plane. The design team started with just a few parameters, the mini block structure, and the typo theme. I also insisted that every typo theme be in at least 2 colors.
And here we got Birch Lore Rangers. It costs 1 green mana for a 1/1 elf, and you tap 2 and tap to elves you control to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, and it has more for 1 green.
I remember that card well.
It used to be played a lot. Everybody likes the Lion War Elves or a Mana Fixer.
Yeah, I do like the Lion War Elves.
All right. This is still part of the same article. You want to continue reading?
Sure. That last bit was very important to me. Part of figuring out what we wanted to do with a new typo block. Bob, looking back at what the previous typo block had done before design even began, we did some limited playtesting with onslaught boosters, we discovered that the typal theme was pretty light, but many of the creature types had a powerful, very linear card at common that tended to dominate the limited formats. That made it feel more typal than the as fan was supporting. Pulling back the power level of common typal cards required us to approach the set differently. We also realized that the typal themes are simplistic because most creature types only show up in one color. The themes were mostly highlighting what that color did. You played a goblin deck, you just did red things. By expanding creature types to a second color, we could add a lot of nuance and flexibility to the typal themes. It was also allowed us to start crafting a play experience with them rather than just highlighting what the color's strength was.
Ooh. Yeah. And here we got Sin's Error. 2 mana 1/1. Sin's Error attacks gets +1/+1 free until in turn for each other attacking Kithkin. He's a soldier. So he's a Kithkin that cares about attacking Kithkin. But then we got a Kithkin soldier that cares about soldiers. Each creature you control with a +1 counter can block an additional creature. So they're showing you how they made cards to work with each other in different ways, where one card cares about the Kithkin creature type, and the other one cares about that this creature is a soldier, not a Kithkin. Interesting. And do you want to continue reading this? Because I can continue reading.
I can continue reading.
All right.
Aaron wanted to make sure design and creative were on the same page, so he added Brady Domermuth, Magic's former creative director, to the design team. First, we nailed down the set's central creature types. Definite Defenderates, Lorwyn from Morningtide. I wanted Lorwyn to focus on species, creature types, and Morningtide to focus on class creature types.
Mm-hmm.
The design team decided we would start by figuring out which creature type was central to each color. We started with green. Players love elves, and we felt they were a great creature for showing up the light and dark sides. Next was blue. Magic had made conscious effort to remove merfolk from the game, but our audience did not like that. I argue that Lorwyn having merfolk support would set it apart from Onslaught. So the team signed on with having merfolk as a core blue creature type. Goblins were the obvious choice for red. Aaron argued against it. Goblins had been the poster child of the typal themes in Onslaught. And Aaron felt repeating it would make the two sets feel too similar. Brady pitched the idea of fire people that would eventually become Flamekin as an elemental creature. The team thought it sounded cool.
Mm.
White was tricky because it really didn't have a characteristic race like the other four colors. White mostly used humans, but we didn't feel that was the right fit for the set. Also, when the human creatures was introduced into Mirrodin R&D, had promised to not make human typal cards. We would eventually break that rule in Innistrad, but the Lorwyn team didn't feel need to do it. Brady suggested Kithkin, a creature type that had shown up on one card in Legends, Pennington had sort of a halfling vibe that the team liked. So we agreed. We also discussed what creature type. Um, we also discussed what creature type our big creatures should be. We had used Beast and Onslaught, but this time we didn't want to use a catch-all creature type. Giant was proposed, and we liked it. So we added it to the list. As we figured out which creature types we wanted to include, Brady kept looking for real-world inspiration we could use as a guide. Perpetually, elves, merfolk, elementals, Kithden, and giants lean toward Celtic mythology. That led us to fairies and tree folk. We picked fairies because we needed some flyers and tree folk to complement giants as large creatures.
They chose fairies and broke the format. All right, we got Bogart Mob, 3 generic and a black, 5/5, champion a goblin, which we talked about yesterday. When this creature comes into play, sacrifice it unless you remove another goblin you control from the game. When this leaves the play, return that card to the play. Whenever goblins you control deal combat damage to a player, you may put a 1/1 black goblin rogue creature token into play. That was pretty cool back in the day. That was pretty good. Not as good as the fairies were.
Yep.
All right, let me see how far.
That's because fairies were cracked in this set.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. Okay, I'm going to finish this off.
Okay.
Looks like this article. It's only simply the left. That left. Blah, blah. Giants are large creatures that left a gap in black. Vampires and zombies didn't fit the feeling we were going for, so we turned to Celtic mythology. Was there anything that felt like a good fit for black? Boggarts were mischievous little creatures, always causing trouble. The more we looked into them, the more we realized they were basically just goblins. We decided the centering goblins in black would make them feel pretty different from Onslaught and added them to the file, which is pretty cool. Pepper Smoke was a good card. Okay. We had our 8 creature types: Kithkin, Merfolk, Goblin, Elementals, Elves, Fairies, Giants, and Tree Folk. We made sure each one of them had at least 2 colors. Kithkin was primary in white and secondary in green. Merfolk had primary in blue and secondary in white. Goblins were primary in black and secondary in red. To tie into Magic's history of red goblins. Elementals were primary in red, but we decided to allow them to show up in all colors. Elves were primary in green and secondary in black. We liked that. They were kind of the meanest creatures on Lorwyn. The Elves decks were pretty ball on deck too back in the day. We wanted fairies to be tricksters, and they needed to fly, so we made them blue and black. Giants would be red and white. Tree folk were primary green, but also in white and black. The set would get a 9th creature type, but it would happen to be the middle of design. For drafts, it's important to have cards that players can fight over. If one card is only desirable for one type of drafter, then that player will draft that card every time they draft. That leads to a lot of repetition. So we needed something that players could fight over, people could struggle over, something that would be desirable by more than just one drafter. I dubbed the missing element Typal Glue. Something that has to hold together the disparate, disparate, not desperate, parts of a Typal set, and all players should want to draft it. My solution involved borrowing a design I made years earlier on a card from the Onslaught block. This set had a bunch of blue creatures called Mistform, which had the activated ability to change their creature type. I was designing their leader, a legendary creature, so I was looking for an extreme version of the Mistform ability. The solution I came to involve allowing it to be all creature types at all times. The card was called Mistform Ultimus, and it was a big hit.
That card was very popular back then. I remember it very, very well.
And it makes sense. I turned Mistform Ultimus's ability into a keyword and would eventually be named Changeling. When I pitched the mechanic to Brady, he said it made the most sense on shapeshifters, also related to Celtic mythology, but to keep them from messing with the story, it's tricky when you have creatures that can look like any other creature. Brady suggested that while they could change shape, they still have a discernible appearance to them, which is where their gelatinous look came from, meaning that everyone knew they were a shapeshifter in the end. With only a handful of exceptions, all creatures in Lorwyn were one of those 9 creature types. And Lorwyn in combination, this is the last bit. That's all the time I have for today. Da-da-da-da. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Yeah, I'm not going to read all that because it's just a signing off of him. All right. That was the article, everybody.
Go.
Yeah. Thank you guys for reading with it. But yeah, like, that's just a basic look into the lore. And I thought I was going to touch in a little more on Lorwyn Eclipsed. Like how they got here. Maybe give us a spoiler. Maybe part 2 will show us. But man, tell you what.
Yeah, I think part 2 will be out tomorrow, maybe.
Maybe looking at the analytics, we might not even touch it.
Yep.
But no, it's good. Like the good thing about the articles for people like us who have been playing the game for years, it drives some memories. Remember those times.
It's also, I find it interesting to see how they come up about making these sets. Doing this gives you insight on how they come up with, the set names and the creature types and all the mechanics and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I find that interesting.
Well, there are game designers who read articles from Mark Rosewater just because his insight gives them inspiration. Sometimes teaches you something about game designing. Mm-hmm. And like
absolutely,
sometimes we just read some stuff about his design process and like for the fact the story he went back to Mistform Ultimus was a design process he made a long time ago that branched very effectively in Lorwyn.
Although it seems like a long time ago now, but at the time it would have been 4 years or something. That would have been like the gap, right? It'd have been like 4 or 5 years, wouldn't it have been somewhere around there?
Oh yeah.
When did Lorwyn come out?
2007-ish.
Yeah, and Onslaught, Mistform Ultimus was in the second block of Onslaught block. Mm-hmm. So like late 2002, early 2003. So it would have been a super long time ago that he went back. Now it is. Now it's 20 years plus, but then it would have been 3 or 4 years.
Well, and I can talk from experience, like going from design to design and evolving your design, like in a different take. My logo is designed from 1, 2, 3, 4 different iterations of the logo of a design.
Right.
Like years later, like I didn't have that cool tortoise logo. Like it used to be like a little logo I thought was clever that I made off the Card Crafter app they used to have, the program. Then I later on I put that in a circle with the mana symbols. And later on I made my logo originally as black cards and had the logo on my shirt. And later on I changed the sleeves of the cards my logo's holding into sleeves I designed for myself personally that I have.
That's awesome.
So it's an evolution of progress,
Yeah, iterations.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. But my friends,
it's that time.
It's that time. That's time to ring the bell. Woo woo.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. So it's lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Hanging out down the street, doing the same old thing we did last week. Not a thing to do. The rest of the song. I'm going to leave that there so it gets stuck in your head. All right. But anyways, everybody, it is the shill section, thrill section. We are time to shill. Yes. You know, now you see me, now you don't. That's a reference to John Cena, who's retiring from the WWE. Is it WWE? Returning from
Retired Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. So then you have a good time. He'll probably just be an actor for the rest of his life now. No, God knows he's really fun at it. You know, he has a talent for it. But
He does.
I'm not really big in the wrestling to know all that stuff. I just watched all the memes on Facebook. Be like, you never saw him in the first place. All right. But anyways, let's get to the show section. We're going to start off with Lone Wolf.
Hey everybody, thanks for having me on. It was an awesome stream today. Let's get Hillbilly and Tortoise up to 1,500 subscribers. Getting closer.
For sure. Let's have a good time. Have a good time being awesome, being amazing. And with that, I'm going to rotate to the Rayman.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me again. Appreciate you having me on the show. Appreciate everybody who came out and listened. I know you guys have the links now that'll be in the chat and down in the doobly-doo below for where to find Mr. B's and everything we got going on here. We're going to have some streams later this week, hopefully. I would knock on wood, but this table is definitely made of plastic, so I can't actually do that. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody. I will be doing another stream this afternoon at 2 o'clock. And right now, that's all I got planned. Not for sure about tonight or not, but make sure you are subscribed to my channel, and then you'll know if there's going to be a third stream or not. And because it might be a third stream, it might not. But it's just dealing with right now. I'm still dealing with my pinched nerve in my neck and shoulder here, so that's why I don't know if there's going to be a third stream or not.
All right.
But I will be doing a arena stream at 2 o'clock. All I got planned for today.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Super Fast Tortoise here. I'm here, and I almost said the card of the day or something. It was crazy. Like that's when I say Super Fast Tortoise here is when I like have the question of the day ready. I know. But anyways, I'm trying to plan around Hillbilly not streaming tonight. I'm gonna keep an eye out, an ear out, because if he does want to play a game, that'd be cool. But if not, I'll probably do another StreamYard stream where we can have friends and guests and just chill out tonight. If you want to do that tonight, we can do that. Just reach out to me on Discord, my friends. And someone just went crazy with Discord. But I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you all for chilling out with us while we read this article. Pretty good article. Hope it was good for you. And with that, my friends, I want to remind you that you're awesome and amazing. I want to thank you, my channel members. Thank you, Ray, for being a member. I appreciate it. I want to thank my subscribers for growing the channel the way you do. And I want to remind you that you're loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, say and or do something positive for someone else today, because you could be the reason someone has a good day today. And with that, my friends, let's get out of here. I want to thank you, channel members of the channel, for supporting this creep the way you do. You are awesome. And you subscribers, everybody that subscribes, you're doing amazing too. Thank you very much for all that you do.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show.